Literally the first thing I did this year was finally play Sonic R, and I mean like actually sit down, understand the game, and 100%. There were two things that took me by surprise. One was just how much I genuinely enjoyed it. I've repented, seen the light, made a switch, felt the sunshine, it brightened up my day. Number two is the existence of the L and the R buttons. Holding down either of them allows your character to make sharper turns in that direction. Like, here's an example of me not using the bumpers. And here is me using the bumpers. The difference is so staggering. I know that second one sounds stupid, but y'all need to understand, I may not sound like it, but I can apply for senior discounts because I was there back when Sonic R was basically the Antichrist back in ye olden days of YouTube. From my memory, they all complained about the controls. However, I can't recall a single one of them that acknowledged the existence of the L and the R buttons. So I think it's safe to say that they never actually completed the game because they never learned how to play. Right, don't double check, you know that's the most logical answer. Think about it. Have you ever seen them on Radiant Emerald?
No, now that you mention it, I don't think I've.
Well, there you are. So now my question is, could they actually beat the game without using the bumpers? Or better yet, is it possible to 100% Sonic R without the L and R buttons? The rules are self-explanatory. Do everything in the game without touching the bumpers. In addition, I'll be adding 2 extra handicaps. The difficulty will be set to hard for the extra challenge, and also, you are banned and you are banned. Y'all are way too OP. I'll be using Sonic Gems collection to play this, and as usual, it'll be hanging by a thread. Also, remember, 50k and I'll do one for Bubsy 3D! Everything's been laid out, so let's rev up some non-existent engines and begin on the first track, Resort Island. I wanted to do a quick practice run to get a feel of what I was now working with. I figured Knuckles would be the best out of the starting roster. His speed, while not the fastest, is still very good, and more importantly, his handling is shockingly not that bad. Like, he's actually making some of these turns. He also has the extra perk of gliding, as all echidnas and bobcats do. We can use this to cut corners and make better times on laps. Resort Island is a short and open track, so the race went totally fine. Although I am a bit worried about the smarter opponents potentially posing a problem later on. Tails actually passed us up for a split second, that cheeky son of a gun. These CPUs really ain't messing around. Look at how close some of us are. I wonder how obtaining the collectibles would be. The blue Chaos Emerald was hiding behind a paywall. Gathering the 50 rings to open the door wasn't too bad, and thankfully there was no trouble with coming in first to keep the emerald, but again, Tails, my dude, chill out! The same could honestly be said about collecting the 5 Sonic tokens. Once we gather all 5, we need to place in the top 3 in order to face a new challenger. The leniency is nice, but I ain't having none of that. Third place is second place for losers, and second place is first place for losers. Mama didn't raise a loser, so we're still aiming for that gold medal here, which went smoothly on this course. Our challenger for this track is Metal Sonic. These are hardly any different from a normal race, so as long as we know the layout and keep doing what we normally do, we'll be alright. Even with Metal's superior speed, I think the AI got a little confused with one of the turning sections. Lamau, rip bozo. The next location is Radical City. Just like before, I did a practice run. This time I tried it out with Sonic because I've never played as him yet and wanted to see what he's like. His handling is kinda trash, but he does have a nifty double jump and is a bit faster than Knuckles, at least I thought he was. Bro, what are you on? Despite the many alternate paths, this track doesn't really offer too many useful shortcuts, at least from what I could tell. So for the majority of the time, we were playing second banana to a man who wears boxing gloves for fashion. To stand a chance against him, we need to hug the wall as best as we can, and in this little section here, let go of the gas pedal for a half a second while moving right. That lets us make a sharper turn so we can more easily hit the bumper. Even so, this still took like 3 tries to do. Knuckles is brutal, man. Hang on, let me see something. Wow, this game is so biased. I swapped back to Knuckles and it's significantly easier. I purposefully skipped over the rainbow boost in lap 1 to save up for the 50 ring door with the purple emerald, and still had enough time to make it in first place. CPU Sonic is just not as well off as CPU Knuckles for some reason. I did a separate race to grab the green emerald, cause it's in a very awkward place. Right at the starting line, we have to follow this 20 ring door, then once we grab the emerald, we have to make this ridiculously sharp left to get back on the main route. I forgot to do that, but we still easily made it in first. Finding the 5 tokens went pretty well too. Radical City's layout is a little more bizarre, so some of their locations felt kind of unnatural, but still it wasn't too bad placing first again. Following that is the next challenge race, where we are greeted— Look at this distinguished young gentleman! He let us win because we gave him head pats. Next on the list is Regal Ruin, and I'm curious to see what our new woke dog is capable of. He seems to move a little bit slower than the other two, but he can float above the water, and to that extent the ground, so he doesn't get affected by the slippery physics of the rain and snow. That being said, his turning is absolute garbage! I know everyone's turning sucks without the bumpers, but Tails Dolls feels especially dreadful. Look at how slow this is. He also has this weird pseudo-jump where you can hold down the A button and he levitates higher. Kinda feels like Mewtwo's double jump for some reason. Sometimes he can hover over obstacles, and I want to believe this makes his turning slightly better. I don't know if this is a fact or not, it's just a feeling. Anyway, Metal Sonic is this world's tryhard. To beat him in a normal race, we have to really cut corners the best we can, like here at the beginning. And we have to start turning way earlier, like here at this funky section before the rainbow boost. It was very close, so there's no way the doll can collect the emeralds or tokens. We're going back to Knuckles, y'all! Oh, so when we choose one of the 4 starting characters, none of the challenge characters participate in the race. I've never noticed that. Anyway, oh my gosh, Knuckles controls so much better, the difference is night and day. We collected both of the emeralds without too much hassle and placed in first to secure them. The tokens were also easy. 4 of them were in plain sight, and 1 of them can be obtained by bouncing on this spring. The other racers ate our dust, so we then prepare to challenge with— yeah, we're fine. The penultimate track is Reactive Factory, and this time I wanted to give normal Tails a go. I don't think there's too much to say about how he controls. His acceleration and top speed are good, and he can suspend himself in the air for like 3 seconds before landing on the ground, which, by the way, I think he has very good turning while flying. Let me zoom in on that again. That felt a little too good to be doing without the bumpers. As for the actual course, there are only 3 notable things I can think to talk about. The main thing is that little ramp thing that I showed off at the beginning. Cutting to the right skips an entire loop-de-loop, so we're shaving off like 10 whole seconds. I don't even think the CPUs can do that. Second, take this sharp right turn at this intersection, as it is the faster route. And third, hop on top of this ledge between these 2 canisters to save about 3 seconds. Oh, Tails absolutely smoked the competition. We don't need Knuckles this time. The last 2 emerald locations were a little weird. One of them is right at the end of that loop. It bounced over me, so we wasted time turning around. The last one is out of the way, like it's literally in one of the farthest corners of the map. But still, those 3 notable things helped out tremendously in making sure we stayed in first at the end. Oh, nice! That's all 7 Chaos Emeralds. The same could be said about the 5 tokens. We can collect 3 of them in lap 1 and 2 of them in lap 2. Even with that last token being behind a 20 ring door on a slower route, we had plenty of time in the 3rd lap to pass up the other competitors and win. Now, after this is the challenge race against Metal Knuckles, the best character that isn't supersonic. Even so, if we keep taking the same routes as before, we'll be—
oh my goodness!
He knows the shortcut! Oh, this does not look good! And I messed up. I should be inside of the road, not to the left of it. Why am I still in first? Oh, he's choking! He's choking! What a loser! We take those, we take those. Cool. All of the collectibles have been collected, and all of the unlockable characters have been unlocked. Besides Eggman, but he becomes playable after we place first on the newest and final track, Radiant Emerald. Now, Knuckles would be the most appropriate choice to wrap this up. After all, he did carry us through the first 3 courses, and it seems the game likes him winning. However, if we choose him, we can't race against Super Sonic, and that would be disappointing to end it off like that, right? So now we have 3 characters to choose from. Tails Doll would be my personal choice, I am a proud member of the Tails Doll Supremacy, and Egg Robo is the correct choice for content since he is easily a bottom 3 character. I'm going to disappoint everyone when I say they are not the ones to do it. For hours, I've been doing everything in my power to save as much time as possible on these laps, like hugging the walls during turns and turning extra early to hug said walls as best as possible. But neither can give me results because they're just way too slow compared to Supersonic. Even body blocking at the start hardly makes a difference in the end. Trust me, I tried anything I could find to make those 2 work. There's a cool out of bounds glitch on YouTube that I tried out, but it does not help in the slightest. So yeah, Metal Sonic is going to be the one to seal the deal. Now, Radiant Emerald is the most straightforward course in the game. It is literally just one wide road, no item roulettes, and the only alternate routes/shortcuts are 2 ring doors, each costing 50 rings. This is essentially survival of the fittest, and it is heavily in Supersonic's favor. Metal Sonic is making this more doable, but he's such a strange character. He's undoubtedly faster than the other 2, but oh my goodness, his handling is so slippery. I mean, look at this, he's like skidding on ice. My original plan was, run lap 1 on the main path while collecting as many rings as possible, then on lap 2, that's when we open the first ring door. It has one of those rainbow boosts that I've mentioned a couple of times before. How it works is the more rings we have, the farther we'll travel, capping out at 50 rings. If we have 50 rings for the door, and close to 50 for the rainbow boost, we can actually pass up Supersonic for a little bit. The problem is he quickly catches up to us, and now since that door is open, he will run down said path since it is quicker than the main route. Hey, that gives me an idea. So the computers can still open the ring doors on their own free will. That is, if they have enough rings to open them. So I think we just have to wait to open the 3rd door on lap 3 and hope Supersonic can never afford to pay for it. Ugh, I wonder how long this is going to take. And there we go! It is indeed possible to 100% Sonic R without the L and the R buttons. Everything in the game has been obtained. Let's just save our progress real quick. Hell yeah, that's what we like to see. So, what is the takeaway from this video? If you absolutely do not like this game and never heard of the L and the R buttons, shut up, get good, skill issue, L plus R button ratio, work it out, keep your feet on the ground, live in the city, you smell, cope, cry about it, maidenless, touch grass, get wrecked, geezer, boomer, you're a bottom, you have scurvy, yo mama, and most damning of all, your refrigerator is running. Thanks as usual for watching till the end. You know, it really lets me know that I'm making a good video. Hope you enjoyed it, and more importantly, I hope you paid attention to the release date of this video. Also, if y'all don't mind, I'm gonna skip the Patreon jingle this time. I finished this in, like, early to mid-March, so I may or may not have another video coming out before this one. I think it would work best just showing the names for this video in case I gain or lose any, so I can quickly make that change. Happy holidays.